Jen, you had a question about meal allowance on PAYG summary. Can you claim the whole amount as a deduction as well? Great question. One of the things that, again, bring it back to context for everyone, something that you can do as a business, or well, as a business, is to pay a meal allowance for your employees. Now, the reason why you pay a meal allowance is, let's say if they, went for a business trip and you send them off for a seminar and you pay them a meal allowance. Now, that meal allowance is usually included on your PAYG summary if it's above a certain amount. So the ATO releases a ruling or guidance showing what a reasonable amount of allowance is. If it's below the reasonable amount, you don't have to include it in your PAYG summary. It's not considered income, but it's still a tax deduction to the company. Now, if you're a business owner, the big benefit of doing that is essentially if you, as an employee of the business, it is, and you work overtime hours. Sorry, that's another thing that I forgot to mention. You have to work outside of normal hours. It has to be overtime meal allowance. And if you work overtime, which most business owners do, I don't know when's the last time you worked 38 hours a week, Ben, but most business owners do that. So what they can do is they can pay the overtime meal allowance in their name, not get taxed in their individual name, but essentially get that deduction in the business as a meal allowance. So your question here, Jen, can you claim the whole amount as a deduction as well? It depends what level are you entering it at. Now, if it's above the reasonable amount, you just need to claim the expenses against that allowance. Obviously, those expenses have to happen in the first place for you to claim that. If it's below the reasonable amount, you don't even need to include it in your PAYG summary. It's not taxable.